Yes, guys, this time we'll be discussing Vigènere Cipher, and we have two methods. I'll be offering you two methods on how to do Vigènere Cipher. In this video, we'll be discussing a method wherein we are to do some calculations. We have another video that deals with or that caters visual learners. All right, those who don't prefer to have calculations, they just want to have some doodles on their pads. Some doodling would work in Vigènere Cipher. Yeah. So let's have the algorithm in Vigènere Cipher. We have here plain text letter code plus keywords letter code, and once we are to add, or once we're done adding these letter codes, we can get now the letter code of the cipher text. Clearly, we need pairwise letters of plain texts letters versus keywords letters. So if you have, say, let's get some notes here. So if we have something like math, and as you noticed, we are, having some tweaks in our crypto system. Shift cipher, we have just one key, we improved it, or we added some security. So in a fine cipher, we had two keys there. And now in Vigènere Cipher, we need keyword, word this time. So in the event that I want to encrypt math, and the keyword would be, say, love, there. As I mentioned, we are to do pairwise letters of letters in plain text, or of plain text and keywords. There. Before, the choice in getting or in deciding for the keyword will be based on the number of our plain text. Like in here, math has 4 letters, so I can think of 4-letter word. That's easy if your word, or yeah, if your word just have some like small number of letters. But what if your plain text would be a statement? You can't have, or you can't think right away a word that has, say, 30 letters, right? So in that case, we have this method just in case you have more. Of course, you can't have more letters in the keyword than the plain text. All right, it should be that plain text will have more letters than keyword. So if you have the plain text math, you may have a keyword of, say, 1. So 1. And if you're done with the keyword, you just have to repeat the letters in order until all the letters in the plain text will have its pair. So that means you have to repeat there, there, so that all of the letters in math will have pair. Now, what if the word this time would be the entire mathematics? Just to double check if you got the idea, and go back to the keyword love. There. So just have to repeat the keyword love until all the letters in the plain text will have its pairings. There you go. Okay. So that's how you start with Vigènere Cipher. So let's apply encrypting. Let's have a short word. Say, let's go back to math and say the keyword would be love. There. It says that when you are to do Vigènere Cipher, this is the algorithm. So if you want to do our solutions in affine and shift cipher, you may do something like this. Encrypt, say, M, and it says that if you are to encrypt M, you start with the letter code of that letter in the plain text. So that's M. M is 12. and add the letter code of its pair, and its pair here is L, and its letter code would be 11, so that would give us 23. There, whatever the answer is, still we are to apply modulo 26, and 23 clearly is congruent still to 26. You may do calculations like this. Yeah, it's fine. Many ways to kill a cat. But for visual learners, even if you're doing computations, let's cater visual learners. Instead of us doing horizontal way of solving it, we may actually have it vertically. This is how you do it. Vertical method. So that you just have to deal with just one solving. Get right away. I need some space. Okay. Just remember that letter M there would have 23, all right? And let's double check if we'll have the same answer. Okay. 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 So if we are to do vertical way of doing Vigènere Cipher, just note with the letter codes, it says that we need to get the letter codes of the plain text and keyword. So starting with M, that's 12. As for A, 0. T would be 19. H will have 7. L will have 11. O would have 14. V has 21. And E will have 4. There. It says that when getting the pairwise letters, we just have to add them. There. That's why, as I mentioned earlier, this would be a bit easy for others who do not prefer horizontal way of doing it. You may do this instead. You can add directly 12 and 11. So that gives you 23. And we had that answer earlier, right? Now 0 plus 14. That's 14. Next would be 19 plus 21. That's 40. Oh. There. And lastly, 7 plus 4. That's 11. There. Now, before you get the letters of our ciphertext, make sure, guys, that the numbers here are less than 26 so that we can get right away the letter codes. In the event that less than 26 and are positive, right? There are times that we can have negative answers here as well. So, positive and less than 26. In the event that they are still not positive and is less than 26, as I mentioned, we are to apply modulo 26. So 23 is already positive and less than 26, so was 14. 40 is still not less than 26, so we still have to apply modulo 26 in that. So that's 40 minus 26, that's 14, this time less than 26. So we can now have that here. So 40 is actually the same thing as 14 with respect to modulo 26, and 11 is good to go. Now we are to get the letters. Letter that owns 23 as its code would be X. Next, 14. O. 40, which is the same thing as 14 modulo 26, that's still O. Okay. Next would be 11. 11 would be L. There you go. So math is actually XOOL with the use of Vigènere Cipher having the keyword love. How to have this time decrypting. Easy. With the use of algebra, if you are to decrypt, you already have the ciphertext with you and of course the same keyword. So for you to get plain text algebra, we just have to transpose that one here. So meaning we'll have ciphertext's letter code minus keywords letter code and we can get plain text. So in here, what if we know that we have here XOOL to be decrypted and the keyword is love. Let's check if we can really get math. So get the letter codes of these letters. X is 23, O is 14, O is 14, L here is 11, this is 11, this is 14, V is 21, and E is 4. There. This time we are decrypting, guys, decrypting, so this has to be minus, all right, not plus. So subtract this time, 23 minus 11 would be 12. 14 minus 14 is 0. 14 minus 21, that's a negative 7. Let's have some space here. That's 12, 0. This is negative 7, right? All right. For the benefit of others, let's cater them. So this was the one I was referring to. 14 minus 21. That's a negative 7 there. Next would be 11 minus 4. That is a positive 7. As we noted earlier, before we get the letters back, we have to check if the letters here are positive and are less than 26. We're fine with the first, second, and last, but we still have problem with the third number, which is negative 7. And if we have a negative answer, as noted in modular arithmetic video, please check that one out, guys, so that you will be guided. We have negative 7. We have to add 26 and get the first positive number, which is less than 26. In this case, that's 19. So negative 7 is congruent to 19 mod 26. Now we can get the corresponding letters. So 12 is letter M, 0 is letter A, 19 is letter T, and 7 is letter H. Voila. You want to shift to BS Math? Haha. You may contact me. Alright, so thank you guys for watching Vigènere Cipher using calculations or computations method. We have another video for visual learners. So if you think that this is not one for you, this method is not one for you, you may definitely check that other method. Alright, see you there then.